Good morning and happy Monday. We hope you had a great weekend, and we're glad you're checking in with us and starting off your new week here at Fox 61 America Areas.
And I'm Bridgeport. Beautiful weekend we had weather-wise. Got some rain overnight. I didn't even know till I stepped outside. The grass was wet. The roads were a little wet, Rachel, so take it slow out there. But no rumbles of thunder. Nothing to wake you up.
No, and all of this rain is very manageable. It's light in nature right now, coming down at a decent clip over in the eastern half of the state. But for the most part, areas of drizzle, some fog this morning too, but nothing that is should be a cause for concern. You just need kind of the umbrella for your morning, and you'll be using the windshield wipers today, or at least this morning too. Anywhere from 4 to about 13 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. Numbers in the mid to upper 60s at 66 in Willimantic, 67 in Hartford, and 69 to near 70 from New Haven into Bridgeport. Humidity is elevated too, so it does feel a bit muggy out the door this morning. Visibility, not a huge issue, but this just shows you that we do have some low-lying moisture, and so it's down to about 2-mile visibility in Windsor locks. There could be some patchy denser fog across parts of the state to watch out for your morning commute. We'll continue to watch it. As we head through the afternoon, it'll be a cloudy and muggy afternoon. Temperatures into the mid to upper 70s, and that's about it. And towards the evening, while there could be a passing shower, there may even be some sunny pops in the evening. That would certainly be a bonus as temperatures slide into the 70s, eventually into the 60s overnight. Now, while it does look like it may start off muggy on Tuesday, we start to see a drop in the humidity Tuesday afternoon and evening. That leads to a very comfortable start on Wednesday. Wednesday morning, temperatures in the upper 50s to near 60 degrees. That's very similar to where we found ourselves in the morning, both Saturday and Sunday, and then we'll be back into the mid 80s for Wednesday afternoon. We'll talk about where we go from here. We'll walk you through the hour by hour coming up in just a bit. Here at 6:02 on our roadways this morning. We are not a lot of road work here, and then I was traveling on Route 2 and I did see some road work over on that westbound side of Route 2. It looks like in the Colchester area that has wrapped up for the morning commute, so no significant delays there. In Hartford, road work not out there this morning, so exits 50 and 51 are open with no significant delays in the area. New Haven now, as you're traveling from I-91 to the I-95 connector, looks okay. Farmington looks fine with light volume, and then as you're traveling into Fairfield, we're starting to see some brake lights right now, but no, our standard delays haven't developed just yet here in the 6 o'clock hour. Erica.
Rachel, thanks. All right, 6:02 right now. The search is on for the person or people involved in a mass shooting in Hartford that left one person dead and 4 others injured. Now, this all happened early Sunday on Wethersfield Avenue. We're checking in with Fox 61's Erin Coogan. She's live this morning where that shooting happened. Erin, good morning. And what else do we know about what happened?
Yeah, good morning to you, Erica. Well, now more than 24 hours after this incident, and we're still seeing officers patrol the area. And it all started just before 2 o'clock on Sunday morning. Officers received a shot spotter notification here in the area of 737 Wethersfield Avenue. In the area are some bars, restaurants, businesses, and it was along this stretch of road that police say they responded to a very large group of people spilling out onto the street. Now, amongst the crowd, officers found one man shot and unconscious laying on the ground. He was declared dead by responding emergency medical teams. Meantime, 2 area hospitals reported additional gunshot victims coming in for treatment. We do know those individuals included 4 people in their 20s and 30s. 2 men hospitalized are said to be okay. Another remains in critical condition, and 1 woman was said to have come in badly hurt but is now expected to recover. Again, a total of 5 people shot in this barrage of bullets on Sunday. We do know that the investigation remains ongoing. Police are actively looking for who pulled the trigger and why. We don't know if it's a targeted event or a random event. Of course, as we learn more, we're going to have it for you on Fox 61. Guys?
Yeah, it'd be helpful. Police would at least say if there was any connection from the shooter and the victims. All right, thank you, Erin. 6:04 now, a heartbreaking story in East Windsor, where a 1-year-old boy died after being left in a truck on Saturday. Now the boy's father is facing charges, and we're learning even more could be filed soon. Fox 61's Valerie Moravia has the latest on the investigation.
Well, there's still a lot of questions surrounding the death of the 1-year-old child. Meanwhile, police say the father, identified as Kevin Pell, has already been charged with risk of injury to a minor. Police say the child was found unresponsive after being left alone in a pickup truck on Rockville Road in East Windsor Saturday. Medical personnel responded to the scene around 2:24 p.m. Once there,
Officials say the child's father, identified as 47-year-old Kevin Pell, told dispatchers he had left his son alone in the vehicle. Police have not said how long the child was left alone. They say when Pell returned to check on the child, he found him blue and not breathing. Officials say Pell performed CPR on his son, and after several efforts to save the child, he was taken to Connecticut Children's, where he was later pronounced dead. Saturday, investigators say Pell was arrested and charged with risk of injury to a minor, and he's being held on a $1 million bond. Police said additional charges are possible as the investigation continues. Those charges will be filed through an arrest warrant.
Now, police say they will not release additional information at this time, but the investigation remains active. In East Windsor, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.
Valerie, thank you. Well, happening today, a 17-year-old murder suspect is heading to court, accused in the death of Leon Richardson back in July. Richardson was found shot multiple times in his car back on July 27th. Now, the unnamed juvenile suspect has been charged with murder and carrying a pistol without a permit. Police said a murder charge requires the case to be moved to adult court. And a barge worker is dead this morning after falling about 25 feet into a confined space in New Haven. Crews were called to 400 Waterfront Street just before 3 Sunday morning. The worker, believed to be about 60 years old, fell from a barge into a confined area in the barge bay and was found in cardiac arrest. Despite an extensive rescue effort, the man did not survive. The victim's name has not been released.
And on Saturday, police responded to a call of a person drowning in Candlewood Lake. Witnesses say an 18-year-old had difficulty staying afloat and went underwater. Luckily, 4 of his friends and a 15-year-old Good Samaritan pulled him out and performed CPR. The 18-year-old and someone who pulled him out went to the hospital. Both are expected to make a full recovery. 9 fishermen had to be rescued in Bridgeport after the rising tide left them stranded. Fox 61's Priscilla Meza has more on how it happened and the warning for you.
This all happened here at Seaside Park, and I was told the breakwater could be a danger, and people, especially those who aren't familiar with the area, need to take the warning signs seriously. Assistant Fire Chief Andrew Ellis says when the 9 fishermen couldn't safely make their way back, crews brought in 2 small boats pulling 3 people at a time and bringing them to a larger fireboat. Ellis says crews then brought everyone back to the dock on Water Street. No one was hurt, but police did issue tickets to the fishermen. Ellis says many of them were from New York and may not be familiar with the dangers of the area.
The water's very unforgiving, especially when it's choppy and the tides are coming in, and if you're not really a strong swimmer or you don't know how to swim at all, it can become very dangerous and bad things can happen.
Ellis says the breakwater can be especially dangerous at night with uneven, slippery rocks and water that can quickly rise around you. He says the fire department trains for these types of water rescues, and today that training made a difference.
One of the boats was out training this morning, and the other one was out there this afternoon. My bigger boat, Fireboat 233, was out training when the call came in. So they were on the water, and they were there pretty quick to help them out.
And Ellis has this message for anyone heading out onto the breakwater. Check the tide charts posted around the area, know your surroundings, and don't underestimate the water, especially when conditions turn choppy. In Bridgeport, Priscilla Meza, Fox 61.
Priscilla, thank you. A Bridgeport firefighter is on leave while he's under investigation in a domestic violence incident. City officials confirmed Quentin Ramos is out on paid administrative leave pending an internal investigation. Now, state judicial records show that Ramos faces multiple charges, including risk of injury to a child, disorderly conduct, criminal mischief, and also reckless endangerment. We are working to get more information on this case, and when we do get that, we will get that straight out to you. Woken police want people to check on the status of recently mailed checks because they've received multiple reports of checks being stolen after they were mailed from the post office located on Woken Road. And then those checks were fraudulently altered and or cashed. They say if you notice any suspicious or unauthorized activity, contact your financial institution right away and then report the incident.
Actress, model, and singer Hayden Panettiere has died at the young age of 36. She was best known for roles in TV shows like Nashville and Heroes. Her film credits also included Remember the Titans, Raising Helen, and Ice Princess. Her family confirmed her passing and asked for privacy, writing, quote, as her family takes time to process this unimaginable loss. They did not give a cause of death. In her recently released memoir, it was released earlier this year, she wrote about overcoming addiction, postpartum depression, and domestic abuse. She was 36 years old. Well, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration says the cyclosporiasis outbreak has now spread to 17 states, including Connecticut, with 100 cases reported here. According to the FDA, more than 9,400 people in the United States have been infected and nearly 400 people have been sent to the hospital. Since the federal agency's last update on August 5th, Maine and Massachusetts have been added to the list of states with cases. The FDA has linked the outbreak to iceberg lettuce, but that may not account for all the cases in the U.S. this year. A nationwide recall has since been issued on iceberg lettuce imported from Mexico, specifically by the company Taylor Farms. Taylor Farms says it's doing a full review of its safety processes and protocols.
Happening today in Wethersfield, a community blood drive is going to be taking place. It's going to be at the Wethersfield Community Center between 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Now, recently, the Connecticut Blood Center declared a blood emergency as the state's blood supply dropped below a 2-day inventory, and that is far below the 7-day supply needed to meet hospital and patient needs. The blood drive is going to be hosted by retirement specialist Johnson Brunetti.